today we have Ice, our our creator support manager here at Class 101. Please tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background and what do you do at Class 101?
So I have to start saying that I'm from Chile, South America. A lot of people get confused and want to know about that, so I'm letting you guys know. I actually started as a translator and language teacher since I studied translation and linguistics. But then I decided to move into community management. I had the opportunity to work in a game studio here in South Korea for 3 years. It was a very good experience for me to explore new skills and to work with what I always wanted to try, that was to engage communities. After working in a game community role, I joined Class 101 to use the things that I learned in both background as a teacher and as a community manager to help our creators who are also teachers here in Class 101 to have successful class launches and support them in everything that comes afterwards.
Well put. That's very nice.
I just made it up.
You just made it all up. Okay. How do you explain Class 101 to friends who've never heard it?
That's actually a good question. A lot of people ask me, what is Class 101? When they try to explain it in an easy way, I just tell them that it's an online platform where people can learn very different things, especially related to professional skills or hobbies. Our classes created by people who had a lot of expertise in the field. And these people tend to be content creators, so they are very actively creating contents on their own social media, websites, or other platforms that they have. You can really tell that they are people really good at what they're doing. So that's why when someone asks me, should I take a class at your platform, I always recommend it because I know the quality of our creators and our teaching.
If you were to describe Class 101 in one sentence, what would you say?
I would say quality classes. What makes Class 101 different from any other online class platform is that our classes quality are much higher. We do have a very powerful curriculum and actually quite long compared to any other company that focuses on the same contents that we do. We are very careful when we pick what creator to work with. I always try to highlight about our platform and our creators, the content quality that they have. It's so good. It's very good. And I can say that myself because I also make contents of my own, so I can tell the difference between that and the rest.
Which classes have you taken on Class 101?
This is a very hard question because I'm the creator support manager, so I shouldn't say that I've taken this class. It might give the...
Based on your personal interests.
Actually, I have not been able to take a single class fully because of my role, pretty much. I spend a lot of time overviewing all the new contents that come in, and we have a lot of new contents coming every month. So I spend a lot of time checking what classes we have, what contents to bring in, what is different from a similar content that we're already having. By doing this process, I don't really have the time to spend to the end of each class. But I do overview a lot of classes. I go through specific chapters of each class, and I like pretty much all our fields. To be fair, I was not very into some areas because I worked with specific contents before, like gaming contents or travel contents. And now I have to be checking contents that are not from my comfort zone area. But by doing this, I really got to understand all the types of contents, fine arts, cooking, and lifestyle related contents that give me opportunity to understand content making has so much more potential than most thought.
Tell us about the creators you work with. What's the workflow like working with them?
My main role is to support the creators who have already launched a class. Of course, I do help creators who are in the process of creating a class, but my main role is to support the ones who have already launched a class. So I guide them through any issue that they might have, let's say like a technical issue, a payment issue, and things like that. But also coordinate communications with our team. If our team needs that the class needs some improvements, I will be pretty much conveying that to the creator. And if the creator feels like we could do some stuff for the class that will help the class to sell better or to be enjoyed by more students, then I do the communications in between, and I try to keep following up until we reach our same goals. So that's pretty much what my role does right now.
Building trust and
Building
making
trust.
relationships.
Yes.
I know that you don't want to sound like you're playing favorites, but are there any episodes that you remember working with creators that you really enjoyed or felt rewarding, helping them out?
Oh, there have been a lot of these situations. I have a lot of creators on top of my mind. If I had to say some people, I will mention maybe Arjun Boy, Nanami, Kota, also known as 100 AK, East, The Flying Papaya. There are so many creators that I have been very honored to work with and help review the class pages, like what could we do to help people to understand what this class is about, to promote the class within their own community, or to just have fun and create a new experience for people, or even like planning a second class that will help people to improve their skills even beyond the first class. All these projects were very interesting. I have wonderful time working with Class 101 creators.
How many creators you manage?
So working with 178 creators from all over the world, from US, Australia, South America. We have creators from Syria, Somalia, Russia, Europe, Southeast Asia. We are everywhere. And of course, South Korea, as we are here.
The next set of questions are more about building community because it is your expertise.
Yes.
I wanted to pick your brain on that a little
Sure.
more. How do you build a community?
There's a question that I don't like much because I think there's a misconception. They tend to assume that you build a community. But the truth is that you don't build the communities, build themselves. There might be already a community out there for your brand, for your contents that you didn't know that exist. It just happened to be created because communities are generated by people who just gather together to discuss a certain field of interest. What you can do as a community manager, or you're running your contents, you have your own community, help these communities to have more fun, to be able to grow if they want to grow, be more social if they want to be more social, provide them help if they need help, reach them and help them to the needs that they want to be solved.
So giving them what they want, scratching their itch.
Yes, there's a community manager or as someone who wants to try to have a community in your business, help them out and give them what they want. That's how I try to see it.
Okay. What makes a community sustainable? What makes it a community that people want to revisit over and over again?
After working with creators, running a lot of clubs, being president of my university, the three elements that I always try to make sure I have for my communities are first, news. People connect with each other when there are contents to talk about, to follow up, to wait for, look for. That is very important if you want to make sure that they come back. The second thing is to provide them help if they have any issues. People who come to your community might be people who are struggling with something. Let's say if you have a class, they might be having issues accessing your class materials, they might not be understanding something specific in your class, they might need extra explanation about something that you have taught before. These people will come to your community to look for those answers. And you want to be able to provide them the answers that they're looking for and to have any sort of material that might assist them within the community. The last part, the most important, is just like the fun. Communities are supposed to be fun, not supposed to be boring places where you just send like announcements and you just tell them to go to the customer support. That's not how community works. The communities like that, they tend to die out. They will go out of your community and they will form their own community where things can be fun. How do they have fun? And this fun is related to the contents that you will be sharing. So what contents will give them the opportunity to have fun, to create their own games, engage with each other, so that life in the community is pretty much as fun as your product itself.
This could be an answer our Class 101 creators would find helpful as well. So to manage a community, you want contents that are new, helpful, and fun. What are some other components of community management that you would like to throw into the mix?
One will be moderation or providing guidelines for this community. So we don't become a toxic place where people will be letting anger, frustration go, insult others, judge others. As a community manager, you should be able to provide the respectful environment where everyone can feel included and like they can be part of.
There are so many different communities out there, social platforms where content creators can build a platform. Do you have any strategies to not build a community, manage communities online?
First, understand where people want to gather. Stepping out of your product or your content, you should think of who is actually enjoying your content. Where do people who like your content gather? Based on that, you might find other options that you did not consider at the very beginning. If you're drawing concept art for games, you might want to open an art station instead of focusing on your Instagram or any other platform that you use. Some other people, for example, they are starting to use Discord because Discord gives you the opportunity to provide one-on-one feedback because it allows you to have a chat with people for a long time and share more details that maybe you could not do it within your specific content or product.
To be able to have a base community.
To be able to have a base community.
Expand the product.
And then an example. So that will really help you find where the base community could start. From that, you can expand to other platforms. But it's really hard if you're running all this by yourself to cover that much in terms of platforms and things. So if you're gonna branch out to the platforms, first you need to decide what are you gonna do with those other platforms. Mm-hmm. Is it gonna be the same role that your base platform has? If it's gonna be the same, then
add value.
Yes.
Okay.
Some platforms they have specific roles. For example, Instagram or Twitter, they tend to be a little bit more content sharing, news sharing, rather than communication engaging social platforms like what Discord could do for you or maybe Reddit could do for you. Based on that, you have to decide how much are you willing or able to cover and what the goals for each one will be.
How can creators add value to their community while supporting themselves as creators?
It's a very good question because a lot of creators, they struggle because they want to live creating their contents, working with what they're good at, feel passionate about. But sometimes it's hard to really make a living out of that. Many of them, when they start, they ended up giving up on their passion because of the life difficulties.
Yes.
You need to provide for yourself and everything. If you really want to focus on content creation as your life path, you could start like creating a sort of business based on this. There are so many ways to earn money as a creator these days. But the most important thing when you start is to check with your community. What does your community would like to have? What will your community like you to offer to them? Don't try to push a brand or a product that you decided that you want to sell it and you think that because you have a big number of followers, a big community, they will buy it for you. That's not necessarily the case, especially if it's unrelated to what they like about you. So please just make sure that you know what your community would like to have from you. For example, there is this, my favorite Frenchie. I really love Frenchie, French Bulldogs.
Walter Jeffrey, the Frenchie, right?
Yes.
On Instagram, yeah.
I really love him and I've been following that account for a very long time. So it wasn't as big as it is now. And then I really love the mom of Walter Jeffrey, what she has done with her contents related to Walter. At the same time, because you need to support yourself, she has been doing a lot of merchandise, creating products that actually the community are willing to buy from her. So I remember when some people was asking for plushies, like very tiny versions of Walter.
For their dog.
For their dogs, yes. Some people might have had them for themselves.
For themselves too, yeah.
Yeah, and she created them and started selling them. And that's how she was able to make additional revenue to support her creator life. It was a very good idea. People wanted that. When you're providing something that people really want, that will just sell automatically and everyone will be happy. They will not feel like you're trying to scam them or betray them just for the sake of money. So I think that's a very important point.
Asking your community what they want.
Ask your community what they want and provide it.
Since we have a lot of digital art classes, which class would you recommend for someone who wants to tell a story through art?
I would recommend 2 classes for that. I really like Liz, the Flying Papaya. She's been creating a lot of images where just by seeing that, you can really put yourself in a whole story right away. So it's not like you need to follow several stories to understand the main story. It's mostly the concept of one image, one story thing. So I really like how she works a lot with that concept, and it's very beautiful when you can create so much more imagination based on just one image. The other class is Bryce Code. I really like how he mixes some contents that we are familiar with his own style and creates a story in one image. He uses a lot of Ghibli kind of feeling plus Pokemon and Dragon Ball. Sometimes he has a lot of anime fan culture that you will really enjoy portray in one single image. It's very cool to see both these classes.
Which class would you recommend for someone who wants to start a career as a digital artist?
One of the most completed classes that we have regarding this Araceli's class. It's a very long class that will teach you from techniques to how the career as a digital artist goes on. It's a very good start and one of the most preferred classes in our platform.
Okay, and lastly, which class would you recommend for someone who wants to
Draw and draw. There are two classes for this too. One is GSM, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. It's a watercolor painting drawing class in a way of making a diary of the places that you travel to. It's very cool the way that teaches you how to portray what you see. I love traveling, so I would really like to learn more about how to do this on each place that I travel, to keep a log and a special connection to the place that I go to. The second one that I would recommend is Barbara Luel class, who teaches sketching and watercolor painting. She really focuses also on architecture of the places that you go. The sketching part is very strong in her class. For someone who is drawing landscapes and places that you visit, it's a wonderful class.
What do you enjoy the most about working in your class?
Working with a lot of talented people from all over the world. I always wanted to work in a very global environment. My job position right now is precisely what I wanted to do. I am also part of Travel Korea content creator group, but I wanted to expand my connection and my ability to work with creators from different fields and places in the world. So I thought that's been the most rewarding element of working here at Class 101.
When do you feel the most rewarded?
This is something very personal. I don't want to sound childish, but I really love when we are having a meeting. There is another member of our team, for example, in the meeting. And then a creator says something like, Ice has been so helpful. Ice is like so nice all the time. Ice really helping me out a lot and everything. I really feel that they also feel that I'm trying to put an effort into giving them the best experience that I can provide on my side. When I see it coming from the creators, it feels just like very rude.
Yeah, it doesn't sound childlike at all.
It puts me in a good mood for the rest of the day. So.
It feels good to be acknowledged, and it's a big part of feeling rewarded doing what we do.
I was a teacher for many years, so seeing my students improving and doing better and being happy or proud to work with me, to learn from me, it's a little bit similar to the feeling that I get when I see a creator that is happy because of the assistance that I have been able to provide.
That's all the questions I had. Do you have anything you'd like to add to this interview?
If there is anyone who will ever like to work with creators or with communities in general, that knowing who you're working with is the most important thing that you ever need to know.
All right, on that note, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back with another episode.
Thank you, bye.
Okay, you did a good job.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was not good.
No, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
미안해. 연습 많이 하고 싶었는데. Is it? Are you already playing it? Is it?
Yeah. We can start anytime. So it's already started.
This could be like the behind the scenes.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. All right.